this week on the Garden Tarts. Well, and that's such the interesting thing about having this discussion with people, like favorite album, favorite song, like whatever, whatever. So much of it has to do with whatever point they are in their fandom. All the only behind is safe though. And people
You're right.
like safe
You're
things.
right.
It is safe, yes. And I feel like pop has a very significant time stamp on it. Time signature is like it just feels mid to late 90s.
Final Go Crazy Night is only giving credit to Bono.
I can see that. It screams of Bono in my opinion. Which frankly, I totally love the concert EDM
Oh
uh
yeah, we'll talk about that.
version over
Oh,
the album version.
oh my gosh, we talked about that. Me too. And like for some reason, a lot of the fans we're in contact with were just like, "Oh, that's horrible."
Oh, I thought it was one of the highlights of the show.
So if I'm sure everybody knows this, Bono hurt his back, and so all these shows that were planned for 2010 moved to 2011. And I look back every so often at my Facebook posts, and I'm like, "Oh my god, poor me. I don't deserve this. Poor me." Not poor me.
That's funny.
Poor Bono. So part of what we're talking about today is that the band really didn't stand by the songs from this album on tour.
I'm just quickly looking through some of the other legs to see when they got rid of Breathe. And it was definitely after they came back. Hey, Hillary.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm good. We've got a guest. Look at this, everyone. There's a third face on the screen. I don't even
Hey
know where
guys.
it's been at the pointing.
That's
This is
Kip.
Kip.
He is
You
my
may
friend
know him as our resident bartender.
manager.
I'm the resident bartender. Wow,
You are a
okay.
resident bartender. We have a bartender and a photographer.
All right, very well.
Neither of you are on payroll.
Uh, Yes, I'm aware of that much. Yeah.
So you're the manager, right?
Mhm.
Okay, Kip's the manager of my local, like, pub that I always refer to as my local. And like, that's how well I know Kip because I go there all the time.
So true.
It's my home
And
away.
he's
So also Kip's last name is Mullin, so Kip Mullin Jr.
junior.
I wish I could say that, but no, I'm not a junior. No.
Well, we
Okay,
say it. So,
Call me Kip Mullin Jr.
I just called you Kip Mullin Jr.
I
But
mean,
no, but is that
maybe
a thing? Is that a thing I'm not aware of that you
No,
actually
no,
refer
no,
to?
I just
Okay.
came up with it.
Okay.
No, I came up with it. Okay, so I have a little speech. Joining us today is our friend Kip, here to defend No Light on the Horizon, a brave act, a rare act, an act some might categorize as concerning, but we believe in providing space for all viewpoints when they're just wrong.
because here's the one thing, this is a big rule about our podcast, Kip, is that we are always right despite facts might saying otherwise.
Jenny, I'm married. I get it.
Ouch.
Okay, so I
You're
feel
lucky
like
on
this
that
is
one.
some kind of ploy that Kip can enjoy his wine without me taking it, because I can't.
For once, yes.
This went on for years that I would sip Kip's wine, and then one day my cousin was in there and said, "Does she drink your wine?" And Kip looked like,
It all clicked.
yeah.
That's what's going on.
If it's sitting in front of me for more than like a minute, and it's mine.
And what I'm having right now, Hillary, you've actually enjoyed in the past.
I love Verde. Yeah. I feel like
Mhm.
that was my, I don't know, my 2013 wine or something. I don't know.
God, you're making me feel like I'm so behind the times right now.
No. I
No.
make up my stuff. So Kip, the way we became friends, sort of, was a friend of mine from high school came out to hang out with me one night, and she barfed on the bar. I didn't know where she just met
I
me.
didn't know where you were going with this, but okay. Yes, I recall this.
I didn't know anything, like, I didn't know where I don't think I knew her last name. Like, I didn't know where how she got there. I didn't know anything. Like, did she have keys? Did she have a coat? What? And I just had to throw her in my car. That guy, that redheaded piece of crap, you can say that part. That
Okay,
redheaded
I'll keep that
guy
part in.
carried her to my car.
Uh-huh.
But we have been to 2 U2 shows and an Elton John show together.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Yes, we have. That's right. That's a pretty that's pretty solid, record, I think, for the 2 of us.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
I don't know that I think I've only been to 2 shows ever with my brother Jeremy, so we win in that department.
And we've definitely been in the same venue for one show.
Yeah.
That's true.
2?
M
1.
MSG.
MSG, yeah.
Were you in Scott Stadium, Jenny?
What?
No, she
Were
wasn't.
No, you weren't in Charlottesville? Okay.
No,
No.
Were you in DC for Joshua?
no.
No.
Okay, so yeah, MSG, yeah.
MSG, yeah. I-N-E. I-N-E?
Yes.
Annie.
I-N-E.
This is another let me just mention this too. So, I was dating this guy who I needed to get rid of, and I just felt really bad, and I needed to get rid of him, like, immediately, and he was a nice guy, but just no, and, so anyway, I don't even know his name. I have no idea, and I dated him for, like, a couple months.
You don't remember his name?
I don't remember his name, but I mean, he was a nice guy, but it was just I could not have a conversation with him, and anyway,
Yeah.
so I had this, like, nonverbal conversation with Kip, like, "Help me out here, buddy." And we did the end of With or Without You, the stars part of With or Without You together, like, we each took a line, "Yeah, we'll shine like stars in the summer night." Like, we went back and forth, and this
Yeah.
guy, on the way home, he told me, like, "That guy's an asshole." It worked!
I'm sure other people said that about me, Hillary.
No, I don't know, no one's ever said it to me, but anyway, I got rid of that guy. He was like, "He's
Yes, you
not an
did.
asshole, you" anyway, I never heard from him again, so no, I have
He
no
well, he
idea what his name was.
excuse me, he also didn't like that I bellied up to the bar next to you, and I was sitting next to you. Yeah,
Oh,
I remember he had that very loud, "I talk like this."
he did
Yeah, it's horrible.
he did
We
like that.
very well.
He talked like a gym coach or something, like
Yes. Yeah, he had no concept of the volume, and tone of his voice. It was pretty awesome, actually. I was loving it.
but he
That
but
is
honestly,
hilarious.
he was a good-looking guy. I just I couldn't get
I
it.
don't remember his looks, I just remember his voice.
Okay. I forgot about it.
Overpowering.
Yeah. Overpowering is one way to put it,
Yeah.
Jen, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to business. So side A of today's podcast is defending no line on the horizon with Kip. Side B is our adventures in 360. But I have a little thing that I have to mention. I meant to mention it a couple weeks ago. For my birthday, Kelly gave me this book that she made with AI.
Oh my god, that is awesome. That's badass.
Yeah.
Are those cookie UFOs?
I don't know what they are. I have no idea what they are. I'm not gonna
Have you read any of it?
because
Have you read
mm,
any of it yet?
I haven't read it, no.
That is so cool.
Bono
Yeah, I
still
was
won't
like,
return my
"What the
call.
heck?" Anyway, I need to, browse it, but is that not a crazy good birthday present?
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very
I'm
cool.
It was
curious of the
signed to my
story it
library
tells.
too.
Well done, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, side A. So, I have a litmus test, um, question. So we see how you stand on this, and then we'll move on. But
Okay.
what is your favorite No Line on the Horizon U2 album?
Yeah, so you guys are probably gonna think I'm gonna take a real punk ass answer for this. I couldn't pick one. I've got a three-way tie.
Okay.
I do, and it's sequential. It's Fire, Josh, Octung.
Yeah.
I can't I thought I was literally in the shower, shampooing my hair, yesterday thinking about this, and I was like, I can't pick one. And I think because each one meant a lot to me at certain different points in my life,
Yeah,
and each one was at one point my favorite album at a given time.
yeah,
Not necessarily sequentially, but yeah, I can't pick a one album. Just like I had to. We'll get to the song. It's today. It could be different tomorrow.
yeah.
But as far as the album goes, yeah, it's like Fire, Josh, and Octon all are like right there
What
with
if
me.
you had a gun to your head, though?
Yeah, all right, Jenny. So if I had a gun, I'd say, fuck, maybe Octo maybe
Well, we won't hold you to it.
no, maybe Octoon Baby. Maybe Octoon Baby was kind of I'm thinking what I will say if I had to pick one, but then I was like, I can't.
Right.
No, it's, but, yeah. And then, of course, Rattle and Hum is the one that got me really into them in the first it was a gift. When I was 15, I was given Rattle and Hum as a gift for Christmas. Of course, the songs were on the radio, but they weren't resonating with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't a U2 fan from Streets and whatever else was on the radio at the time, but when I got Rattle and Hum, the cassette, I played it and I gave them a chance. I was like, "Oh, okay." So, Rattle and Hum would be up there too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
ironically.
Well, yeah, the first album always tends to be the top.
Right,
Yeah.
Not
right,
always,
yeah.
but often, yeah.
I feel like, at least, on the pod, I feel like we just kind of gloss over Rattle and Hum a lot of times. Like, I don't even think about it, but it's such a good album.
Did we even do a Tart Talk on it?
We did.
Okay. I
Pretty sure. It
forgot.
was years
Hey,
ago.
you've got over 300 episodes, Jenny. You're entitled to forget.
Yeah,
I know.
we
It's
did.
been a lot of
I think it
drinking.
was we do a lot of drinking.
Speaking of which, cheers.
Cheers, and Garden Tarts.
You've got a Garden Tarts mug.
It's
I
hot
love it.
chocolate with peppermint rum chata.
I have
Oh,
my
nice.
my baby lemon mug, and, it has little pre-made Manhattan in it.
Mm,
Love it.
nice.
We went to the Cleveland Browns game today. This is related. It's, like -30 on the lake. We were dressed appropriately, but we kept getting hot chocolates to stay warm. By the second time around, I found the stand that will spike them for you, which is
Nice.
great. But, when you said hot chocolate, I went, "Ugh, I cannot have more hot chocolate."
Well, Jenny, I'm sorry that my Niners spanked you guys today.
Well, the whole reason we're not like go to football game big people, but my 15-year-old proudly sported her Kittle jersey
All
and
right.
was
Okay.
basically like eye high-fiving every 49ers fan on the way out
All
this
right. I
weekend.
love it. Good for her.
So that's why we went
Yeah.
because
I'm a Niners fan. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
they were fun to watch, let me tell you.
yeah. Well,
They were
good
fun to
games.
watch.
But
They
anyway,
they Anyway,
yeah. Sorry. Hillary's like, can we please get back on track? So,
no, yeah,
Hillary,
no more football, no more
steer the
football.
ship. Steer the ship, Hill.
Like,
So, we
football
challenged
and
you.
baseball are the
Yeah.
bane of my existence.
You can answer the same question. I mean, your favorite U2 song.
Yeah. I
For a
gave
second, I
that to
couldn't tell if he was frozen.
Yeah. At once again, this is today, could be
Yeah.
tomorrow,
Yeah, yeah.
end of the world. I think I've told Hillary end of the world in the past. So, I think until the end of the world is yeah, that's up there. But man, one thing with me, when I go back and revisit older albums, October, War, what have you, I really love the ethereal, some of even their instrumental stuff. Where they're just kind of jamming, ethereal, just it's just like percussion and Edge is weird, when they're younger, just
Yeah, this
trippy ass.
tracks. This
Just
tracks.
yeah,
Yeah.
just trippy ass, like, you feel like you're wandering through, the greens of Ireland and, on acid, and they're just playing this shit behind you. I loved some of that stuff, but, yeah, and I haven't gone back and revisited the catalog in quite some time. But top of my head, whenever that song such a banger song, so whenever that
Oh,
song,
yeah.
I'm like, "Alright, you got me there."
Yeah.
We're literally named after it,
That's
so
where Did you know that? Did you know that's where our name came from?
No, I did not know.
Yeah,
in
in
the
the garden
garden. I was playing the tart,
Right, yeah,
It's your lips and bread
garden
tart.
tarts.
Garden
I
tart.
love it.
We asked, one of the people employed by Bono if she knew what the origin of our name was, and she did not know. And we told
No.
her, and then I'm like, "Can you mention that? Can you go back there? Can you mention that to them?" And she didn't have any response for that.
Yeah.
Like, I really wonder if they know what the origin of our name. I kinda think no, but
Well, here's the thing, they may not know, but they care,
yeah. But, like, the other
okay?
thing that I think as fans we have to remember all the time is that we listen to this stuff every day, and, like, it is likely they don't listen to their stuff
Yes,
as often
Yeah.
as
yes,
we do.
Yeah.
Very, very likely.
valid point,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so last question of our litmus test is, what is your favorite non-YouTube band?
Yeah, gave this one some thought, probably Midnight Oil.
Ooh, that's a good
Oh, interesting. Okay.
res
Yeah, 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 became a real big fan of theirs when I was 15. You know, Beds Are Burning. When I heard that song, I was like, "Who the fuck are these guys?"
yeah.
And my best friend at the time, Scott Jones, and I both had that reaction to that song. So we got the album, Diesel and Dust, and we were like, I mean, that entire album is awesome. And then, of course, you remember this is days of cassettes, and I just dove in and went all in on Midnight Oil. I've seen them 3 times. Yeah, I'm a huge Midnight Oil
Are
fan.
they still making music? Are they still around?
Jay, they put out an album, I wanna say, like, 3 or 4 years ago, but
Okay.
I saw them in National Harbor in DC. Kim and I went and saw them, like, 3 years ago, but they've pretty much retired. They're done. They do a show here and there in Australia, but,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, they're pretty much, they've got side gigs now and whatnot. Rob Hurst, the drummer, has cancer right now, and so I mean, they're the same age as the Bono as the U2's, pardon me,
Yeah.
so but yeah, Midnight Oil, I love them, man. I
I
love them.
saw them once. Wait, I went to the show because I wanted the Hot House Flowers were opening.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that was my pull, but I was also happy to see Midnight Oil.
Yeah. And the one I was, wavering on was REM as well. I'm a big, huge REM fan. So, I was like, "Oh, which one do I pick?" But I've never seen REM live.
Ew.
Oh,
Very regretfully so, never seen REM live, but,
I saw them once, and it was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I think I also have only seen them
I think
once.
we saw the same I think we both saw the Monster Tour.
Yeah, it was
oh,
definitely Monster Tour.
Yeah.
what a great tour. Yeah.
That oh my god, that was I love that album so much from start
It's a great album.
yeah.
Great album. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into the actual questions, you realize that most people don't get this album, which we should say that, Jenny. We've been saying we don't like it, but that's not it. We don't get the album.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just should have used that word. Do you think that we're all wrong? Like, is that what you think? We're just wrong, or how serious is your defense?
So, in full disclosure, prior to this broadcast, I was doing some homework and I went online and I listened to the whole album again in the past 2 hours, and I went online and I was also reading reviews of the album that came out in '09 to help to I mean, to benefit this conversation and and also to benefit perhaps my perspective a little bit, to see if it informed it and changed it at all. It may have a little bit. Um I think, to be fair to my perspective, one of the big reasons like this album so much is because this album came out the same year that we saw them at Scott Stadium, I believe, like a few months before. February, I guess it was launched. It was dropped something like that, February of '09, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it was October when we saw them in Scott Stadium. And I was 36 when we saw them at Scott Stadium, and I was 18 when I saw them the first time. My birthday, November 18th, 1991, I saw them at Cyclone Stadium in Ames, Iowa, for, for the Zoo TV tour. And so I was as excited to see them for the 360 tour as I was when I was 18. I literally doubled in age, 36, and as
Yeah.
excited to see them. And I mean, when I saw Larry walk out first to get in the drum kit to start Breathe, I mean, it was like I was excited as when I saw Bono's shadow or the silhouette of Bono when he walks out for on stage at the very beginning of Zoo TV. All you see is silhouette to the backdrop of those screens. And so I think that my affection for this album is colored by my anticipation for seeing them again for only the second time in my life.
Yeah.
I've only seen them 4 times, which is nothing compared to U2. So by put that in perspective, 4 times, this is the second time. I was so excited to see them that I think that gave me rose-colored lenses towards this album a little bit.
No, that makes
Um,
so much sense.
So
yeah,
fair. Yeah.
whereas a lot of people, yeah, you're like, "Ugh, it's disjointed. The first 3 are great, the last 3 are great, the middle 3, get on your boots. What's that even doing on the album?" You know?
We're
Uh,
like all the
That
opposite.
what I think is that the middle songs are the best songs.
I like them all. I will concede that in reading the reviews and then listen to the songs in the last 2 hours, "Get on Your Boots" does seem a little weird compared to the other songs, but I think it's a banger. I think it's a great tune. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I think that's probably one reason. I will tell you, All That You Can't Leave Behind, didn't love it. It was the critics' darlings. It got them back in critics loved it. It got them back in the good graces after Pop and all that. I was like, I liked some songs, but, I thought that, Beautiful Day got played to death on the radio. I never wanna hear it again,
Yeah.
you know? Um
We've when we did our episode, what, 3 years ago or whatever, right? On, All That
Yeah.
You Can't Leave Behind, we were shocked by how much we did not like it. Like, I think that with, it being, around 9/11, the
Mhm.
last leg of the tour was right after 9/11. I think that gave us rose-colored glasses, like, we were just like we were hanging on to this album, but now it's not that great.
To your question, yeah, now, that having been said, like I said, I revisited the album in the last 2 hours. I told Kim, I said, "I'm going upstairs to your office. I'm gonna go listen to this album, and so I can, come prepared for this." Yeah, it didn't listening to the album did it reinforce what I planned to say anyway, and that I do believe that I think No Line is really the last experimental album that U2's done. Personally, I think and you're gonna ask me, Lenoir, Eno, Lily White, I think they totally massively informed that album. And so I think that post No Line, it's just different. It's a different material and a different sound, which I get, and we'll get to that. But I think that No Line was the last album that they really were trying to do some different weird quote unquote stuff. So
I think we can agree on that.
Totally agree with that.
We can agree on that.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah.
I do kind of feel like where I think that, like, with Songs of Innocence, I think that instead of, like, going back in time, like, with a rock album, I felt it was experimental, but just in a different way. Like, they hadn't been there for a while. So, it was like they were trying out the rock and roll again.
mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
You got
Well,
it out.
as a man, and that's who the U2s are men. And as a guy who we've all gotten older, right? I mean, we were all listening when we were teenagers, and now we're not teenagers anymore. And I can relate to them a little bit now as guys in their 60s because we're not far from there. We'll be there before we know it. I understand. When I say we, I mean me. I have multiple personalities, so I refer to myself in plurality all the time. I apologize.
That's
I
great.
should have told you that.
Yeah.
I should
That's
have told you
great.
that.
I'll be like, let me turn 50 first.
Let me go get this shovel so I can keep digging this hole deeper.
I
Well,
have
I'll be
exactly a
right back.
month.
Jesus Christ.
you'll never know what it's like
I
to
feel like I just shot Jenny outside of MSG again, or so I thought.
Yeah. So,
How
you don't
horrible.
know what it's like to be my age.
Hey, look, if you've been listening to U2 when you're in your teens and you're listening to them now, you're not in your 20s. Okay,
That's
I'm
true.
sorry.
You're right. You're just the math.
Yeah.
Do the math. Do the
Yeah.
math. I understand you'd write what you know, and these guys are now they're old dudes, and they're all fathers except for Adam. Adam doesn't have any kids, right?
He is
Yeah,
the
he has
father.
2
Yeah.
kids.
He is oh, I did not know that. Okay,
Yeah.
great. So you write what you know, and so they're writing about, you know, life that they've lived, and they're writing about their children and whatnot, and it just doesn't resonate with me as much as their previous work did. And I feel like No Line, which is what we're talking about, so I'll stop getting going on tangents. No Line is like the last album that really I felt like they were just like it was a little trippy and it
Yeah.
was topical and it was, and then after that they kind of moved into all right, we're just gonna write about being older guys now and what this world means to us as older dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hearing.
Absolutely. I was gonna ask the next one, but I didn't know if that was
Wait,
the
did you
plan.
tell us your favorite track?
No, we haven't
Oh,
asked that one
favorite
yet.
favorite track. No,
I'm sorry. Okay, just rewind. You did a good job with the defense. So, what's your favorite track?
probably Breathe. Only because it's what they opened with. Once again, tied with my anticipation of seeing them for the second time in my life. Larry getting out there and starting that crazy ass drum thing he does before the song. Yeah, but Fez, I love Fez a lot because it's just trippy. And Cedars of Lebanon is really up there. I just love the
Cool.
lyric.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, knowing that I'm not a huge fan of this album, "Breathe" is one of my top U2 songs of all time.
really,
It's easily in my top 10.
really,
Yeah,
oh, wow.
and
Okay.
I will die on the hill that they that it could have been a U2 classic if they had kept playing it, if they kept opening the shows with it, but they didn't. So
Oh, so you say on
now it's
that
just a
tour.
hidden gem.
So Jenny, on that tour, eventually they didn't open the shows with Breathe anymore.
No, when they came back in 2011 after Bono's surgeries and stuff, they they ditched most of the album.
We'll get back to that
Yeah.
in just a little bit.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's yeah, Jenny's favorite song is also "Breathe," and, I don't think it's on my top 100.
No,
My
we'll
Hey,
keep it. It's okay, we'll hold on to
3
it for
you
you.
like what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kinda feel like this might, I don't know, have an obvious answer, but the next question, what track do you think non-believers, non-getters, because we don't get it, skip on the album unfairly?
I think my answer to that would be Fez.
Yeah, so that is the correct answer from your perspective. Way to get on board.
Is there a song where you say, "Oh, yeah, this one's rough"? Like, is there one that you can kind of be on our side with?
Stand-up comedian, is that the name of it? Stand-up
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 comedian.
comedy.
comedy.
Stand-up comedy. Critics like that song. I'm like, it's okay. It's all right.
That's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I think it should have been the first single.
I'm like, it's okay.
It's everybody has their own opinion, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes they're just
like
wrong.
it's okay. A stand-up
yeah.
comedy. I was listening to it 25 minutes ago. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Well,
Yeah.
and I didn't get it when it all came out, and it was preparing for this I was like, "Oh, this might be the one of the best songs on the album. Why was this not a single? This is fucking cool."
I mean, the
But
day I got that album, that was my response, was that one song.
yeah,
Stand-up comedy, huh?
yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
interesting indeed. So, how do you feel? So, you mentioned a little bit about, like, the Eno and Lanois being
Yeah.
so present on this album, but how do you feel about them having such a heavy hand in it?
Well, I think it would have been interesting to see what Rick Rubin would have done with an album with them. We'll never know, and you guys might have insight on this. I wonder how and why that fell apart. Um,
I think it was just his method of writing an album versus theirs, because
Right.
he wanted them to come into the studio with stuff they had written, but they generally write in the studio. So
Yeah.
I think that was what the
We heard
Okay.
that. We also heard that it's, like, it was too rock and roll, the direction he wanted to go, and they were trying to go the other direction.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Well, to your question, I mean, I've always liked the influence of Eno and Lenoir and Lily White on there, which I think is why I like Fire so much. Um, what were they on Joshua?
Yeah.
Were they?
yes, but as, like, producers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they wrote some of the stuff for No Line too, didn't they? They were
They
like,
are they are right they are
yeah,
Yeah.
credited as writers on
yeah.
this
So
album,
yeah,
yeah.
they were pretty involved in it, and yeah, I love Roxy music, so I'm kind of go back with anyway. But yeah, no, I just like the influence they've always brought on the guys, and the fact, I don't know whose ideal was to go to Morocco, but I think that obviously informed the sound and the vibe of the album. What's that, Jenny?
It's Bono's.
It's
That's
Bono's?
Bono's idea.
Of course it was. But, yeah, and I just like the vibe that little spice it gave to the album, and yeah, I think probably one reason I like the album is because of their influence. I can only suspect.
Yeah. Side question,
Okay.
but related. Do you think that if an album consistently has other writers on it that are not members of U2, that it is then a U2 album?
Yeah, that's a good question. I guess that would depend on how much influence they had, how much writing they were doing. Do you guys know? I mean, how much of the album was written by the trio besides the guys?
Well,
Um,
in as much as you
I'm
like
gonna look. I think they have writing credits on
we
most of it.
don't like it. So that's a lot. I mean, there are a few songs like, I don't know, stand-up comedy, that doesn't sound like it's an Eno Lanois song.
no, it doesn't.
I'm
That
I'm
sounds like
loo
Bono.
I'm looking.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of artists out there that, have other people write their songs and they just sing the songs. Now, we just know that historically the U2's, have written their songs, but I'm sure there's been other albums, maybe not. I don't know. You would know better than I, where they've had producers or whomever write some of the songs. I don't know. Maybe it's always been exclusively Bono and Edge writing the songs up until this album. I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that question, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that their writing of it discounts, the validity of this album or in any way of that.
I'm
No, but
looking to
once
see if there's songs they don't have a writing credit on.
it's like they have
Oh,
a writing.
I'll go if I don't go crazy, I'll go crazy night is only giving credit to Bono.
I can see that. It screams of Bono in my opinion, which frankly, I totally love the concert, EDM
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that.
version over the album version.
Oh my gosh, we talked about that. Me too. And, like, for some reason, a lot of the fans we're in contact with were just like, "Oh, that's horrible." And I'm like, "That's the best thing at this."
Oh, I thought it was one of the highlights of the show.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally agree with that.
yeah, and, of course, I went and downloaded that track in
Yeah.
that version. And I don't even listen to the album version now. I'm like, it's
Uh-uh.
fine." Yeah, the what they did with, just turning it into electronic and so, I mean, that was
Yeah.
Yeah.
fucking awesome, man. So, yeah.
Okay, here are the songs that don't have them on it as writing credits. I'll Go Crazy If I Don't Go Crazy Tonight, Get on Your Boots, Stand Up Comedy, and Breathe. Every other song, they are writers, and
Yeah,
Lanois.
they're pretty influential, yeah. So but, I mean, a credit could be a very minor
You're
addition, you
you're
know,
totally right.
or it could be
I
substantial.
mean, U2 doesn't give writing credits where writing credit I mean, they hold on to that
Yeah,
shit tight. So that's a very deliberate move there.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also I know they hold these guys in high esteem, so they're probably like,
Yeah.
"You helped us out with this track, so yeah, you deserve credit."
yeah,
And that was the plan. I mean, they did bring them on as writers, as co-writers. Like, that was the plan all along. It wasn't like, "Oh, you actually did more on this than we thought,"
Yeah.
kinda thing.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the next question I thought was really interesting. Definitely gives you pause for thought. But do you think that No Line would have been received differently if it had been smushed between All That You Can't Leave Behind and How to Spell an Atomic Bomb?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think it might have been. I think it may have been more positively received if it had been sandwiched between those 2 as opposed to being, you know, after them. And like I said, and in my opinion, the end of an era for U2, where the next era was the geriatric era.
Now, technically, this era though, the if they have trilogies, so like Boy October War trilogy. Um, anyway, so this is on the end of the
It would be, yeah, you're
all
right.
yeah, it's the end of that trilogy.
It would be,
Yeah.
yeah. And frankly, I'm going to create a question for you and an answer.
Okay.
I told you I didn't love All That You Can't Leave Behind. How to Dismantle, I really like that album a lot. I played the fuck out of that album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, I think I like that album more than No Line. You know I'm here to defend No
Yeah.
Line
yeah.
because we've had this conversation, in the past. But Dismantle, I think is a superior album to No
Oh,
Line.
yeah.
But I just think No Line, in my opinion, is even more experimental, however,
Yeah,
to Dismantle. And I think that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
kind of the end of their experimental phase.
yeah.
They were kind of like, whereas now what they're doing, but they're not trying as many new, in my opinion, as many new things as they were with, you know, No Line.
We
But
no, go ahead. Sorry.
I still like Atomic Bomb better though than New Line, even though I feel like New Line's a more experimental album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we
Fair, fair.
did our episodes again, when we did, All That You Can't Leave Behind, we were shocked by how much we did not like it, and when we did
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Atomic Bomb, we were shocked by how much we did like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to go back and listen to that album. Maybe I'll do that after this. I'll put it on and listen to it. Yeah, just Atomic Bomb. I dug that album. It
It's a
had to grow on
great
me.
album.
It had to grow on me,
Yeah.
but it grew on me real fast.
Oh my
Kind
god,
of
I
like
love that album.
Yeah, kind of like No Line did.
Yeah.
So
Do you have, like, a lyric that's your favorite from No Line? If you don't, it's okay. I
I
couldn't
do,
I don't
I
think I could do
do,
this for any album.
I do. I had it on my phone, but I'm using my phone to do this, so I'm gonna go on my Mac here. It's from Cedars of Lebanon. It's the last stanza of Cedars of Lebanon, and
You love that too.
I just love how he's kind of talking and singing at the same time. I just love it's a love song to his wife back home.
Cedars of Lebanon?
Yeah. Am I wrong?
I mean, he's supposed to be a journalist in, like, the Afghan war.
Yes. Yeah. And I always hear it like he's saying it, he's talking
Oh, as the okay.
as a journalist. Yes.
Singing
The
about back
journalist.
home. Okay. Yeah.
Choose your enemies carefully because they will define you. Make them interesting because in some ways they will mind you. They're not there in the beginning, but when your story ends, gonna last with you longer than your friends. So yeah, I love that lyric.
Such a great song.
Yeah, that, song, Hillary put it best, it's got, like, a beatnik feel to it.
Yeah, totally.
It's like
Yeah.
rapping poetry kind of.
Mhm. I get
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that's such a great lyric. It's such a great lyric.
Such a great lyric. I think I was going to look back in my notes from Nolan, and I think I had that lyric highlighted too, but
Yeah,
it's in a different file, and I don't have that all set up right now.
you did. You did have
Okay, so do you have a closing argument or final words?
Um, it's and going back and reviewing reviews, reviewing reviews, it became evident to me that this is a pretty common, sentiment about the album that it's not everyone's probably most people's favorite U2 album. But um, and I read some, like Rolling Stone and a few other actual reviews, and then I went and read opinions. I think I clicked on a Reddit link and just read what people were saying on Reddit
Yeah.
about it. And there's a lot of people out there that are like, "This album is underrated." And a lot of people out there are like, "Yeah, there's some of my favorite songs are on this album." Jenny, case in point.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I if I to be fair to your point of view, if I probably wasn't seeing U2 6 months after this album came out, I may not have the feelings at the time and now that I do about this album, but because I did and I was so mega excited to see them, and once again, 4 times, number 1's gotta be the first time I saw them, Zoo TV and at Ames, Iowa. Second time is Scott Stadium, and then I think the 3rd number 3 is Joshua Tree in DC.
Well,
Mhm.
you went to one of the New York shows. It's 5 shows,
That's
right?
that no, I went to one of the that's number 4. MSG is number 4 when I saw Jenny. And
Oh,
that
okay.
yeah, and in that order, and that's number 4, and I will put the Josh Tree album above that. Yeah, so I may feel differently about this album if I wasn't, so excited to see them for the 2nd time in my life right after, that album this album came out that year, but
That
because
makes
I
total.
did,
Well, and that's such the interesting thing about having this discussion with people, like favorite album, favorite song, like whatever, whatever. So much of it has to do with whatever point they are in their fandom
right?
and what's
Yep,
going on either side. Whether it's like, for instance, like songs of experience. I mean, being a parent of teenagers, like that song, that album just resonates with me so much, like parent to child kind of thing. But in general, where you are in, like, in your life and in your fandom, that's gonna tell you what your favorite stuff is more than anything, I
yeah,
think,
Oh,
or
for
well,
at
sure.
least it dictates a lot of that decision, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Fire, I was listening to a lot in college as I was Joshua Tree, and then, and Nocturne, and so all 3 and I was 18 years old, and I was listening to all 3 of those albums at the same time, and so
Yeah,
that's why I can't tell you I can't pick one.
well,
I mean, they were all 3, and then so I was like, they all meant so much to me at the tender I was 17 when I went to college, and so at the tender age of 17, 18 years old, that U2 meant a lot to me,
well,
and so I can't tell you one album more than the other.
yeah,
That's why it's like they're all right there at the top,
it makes
but
sense, yeah.
yeah, yeah, so, yeah,
and, like, I mean, I feel like for different like, every album's my favorite except this one, for different reasons. Not this one, not October, but all
Yeah,
the other ones I have. Yeah, I have, like what you're saying, I have somewhere that have something in my life, like, connected me with that album, and I guess I have that with this album too because I just remember. We'll get to that in a few minutes, but I just remember the tour, and I have so many, like, memories of that stuff that maybe I should give it a little more credit.
well, Hillary, do you have, like, a song on the album that you really do love,
Um,
or are you like, "Nah, they're all just okay"?
well, I like stand-up comedy, I'll Go Crazy, and I like White as Snow. Yeah.
I would say if I had to have a least favorite song on the album, I'd be White as Snow.
Mm,
I enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but I find it a little yawny.
yeah, I get that.
I can tell it was written for a movie.
Was it written for a movie?
It was
Was
written
it
for with a movie in mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little "Oh, okay."
I think
It
it's
almost feels like a
gorgeous, but
filler.
it doesn't feel right
Yes,
on the
it's a great
album.
song, yeah, but I'm like, it just feels like a filler song, and I'm like, okay." Yeah,
No,
but
you're right. You're absolutely right. I kinda really loved it.
You love it, and you should love
yeah,
it.
yeah, you should. You like what you like. You love what you love, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's all we have for side A. Do you wanna stick around with us for side B? It's interesting.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. You got
Thanks for
time?
inviting me.
Flip
Well, we're
side.
flipping over
Side B,
side B,
we're talking about the
360 tour.
360 tour, which I love those shows. Like 360 was a great tour. And like
Yeah.
Yeah.
off of, you know, coming off of All That You Can't Leave Behind and House Mail and Atomic Bomb. This was just, I feel
The
like the
big stadium show, it was
door we
just
just ran because it's a different vibe for a stadium show, which I actually really like that.
So
yeah.
this is where I have a couple questions for you 2
Yeah.
Okay,
when you're ready for me to ask them.
okay.
Okay.
Now? Now?
Sure.
Sure.
You
There's
sure?
no right or wrong time.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
So you're I'm listening to you say what you just said, and so I saw we all saw Zoo TV,
Mhm.
and we all saw
No,
360.
I did not see Zoo TV.
You did not, Jenny. Oh, poor thing. All right. Well, I
You
did not
went to a
see.
ton of Sphere shows, so
Yeah. Okay. Oh
I
shit.
made up for it.
I forgot about. Yes. Yes. No shit. You did. I don't even want to talk about not seeing them at the Sphere. But anyway, I did not see them on the Pop Mart. Um, and so which one was more bombastic and just like, oh my god, Pop or 360?
Pop
Because
Oh,
Pop.
pop.
by
All right.
by we saw so many pop shows, though. I don't remember my number, but I think it's like 12 or 14 or something like that. Um,
Yeah, I saw 9.
yeah, it's still a lot. I mean,
So you were more than that, yeah.
yeah, but that was like, I don't know, that tour was just like perfect for my age, for my,
Yeah,
you know, for everything that was going on in my life. It was just like that's
dude.
how I made, I made most of my U2 friends I made from that tour.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
it just holds a really like that tou I think for all of us, for our U2 family, I think that tour is just sacred.
really. Okay.
So sacred.
Like, I can't even compare another tour to it
No.
because it's that
And was it, like, bombastic because of how we toured in our, like, late teens, early 20s, where we just, like, all out, we're making it to the rail every night, and we're, like, deciding to get on planes last minute, and life is just beautifully chaotic for ourselves in general. In 360, we're like, "I'm pregnant, I can go here."
Yeah,
I've got a
right,
Like,
I've got
where
a
our
9 to
lives
5
just more
job and
together and we had to be a little more organized.
yeah.
right.
No, I think from the band, I think the band was more organized too on 360. That was a very deliberate tour, while Part Mart was a great idea that didn't quite unfold correctly.
Yeah. But I think that also is another reason why we loved it so much is because we didn't have a whole lot of competition.
Competition.
I mean, they played to
Us.
us because the stadiums weren't, like, filled.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That's right. You said that. Yeah, the turnout for those shows sometimes was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, now can you speak to like why that was? Because I mean, I feel like that they were still considered one of the biggest rock bands in the world, but
I
I think it was
don't go ahead, Jenny.
I think it was the album.
So, but I think it's, like, when you compare pop to All That You Can't Leave Behind, I like pop better.
I do too.
Right.
So, like, I don't know, and then maybe it was just, like
But all you leave behind is safe, though, and people
You're right,
like safe
you're
things.
right.
It is safe, yes, and I feel like pop has a very significant time stamp on it. Time signature is like it just feels mid to late 90s.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
absolute yeah, yeah,
like chef's kiss, yeah. It's perfect.
But I do prefer that album over All That You Can't Leave Behind. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, pop's got, like, guts to it,
Yeah. Well,
and
they
All You Can
once
Leave
again
Behind was like, "Oh, the guts were scary to people.
exactly. They were
Put 'em back in."
experimenting. They were experimenting. And yeah, well. Yeah, but
Yeah,
I forgot that yeah, you told me that earlier. That you said some shows it was like it was sad that there were so many seats that weren't filled.
Yeah,
yeah.
there were 2 shows that to me that I remember, and one was, Los Angeles, which that should place should have been packed,
Yeah.
it wasn't, and then New Orleans, which was It was just not good. It was empty, and the show was just kind of I think Bono was just kinda he talks about it. He said at one point he could smell popcorn that people were eating at the show. Like, anyway,
Oh my god.
but yeah, that was not a great that said, I still had, like, the best adventures, like, and we'll get to that in a second too, because with we talk about the shows, but then, like, there's a whole other story about how we got there and what happened, what we did, and, so it's kinda like there are 2 parts of it, which we're gonna get to.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I went to, and then Jenny, you give me so I went to, the first US show in Chicago with Jenny and Garden Tart Amanda, and then I went to the second show the next day at Soldier Field, with Amanda and a bunch of our other U2 family friends. Jenny was pregnant.
I was, like, 3 months pregnant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wah, wah.
So and I forget there was some reason I couldn't do I had something going on that next day, like, I had to get home.
Yeah.
I forget what that was.
So then my next show was Landover at FedEx. That was crazy. I'll get to that. I'm just listing them right now. And then Charlottesville, I went to with and this is why that show is so, like, I don't know, just emotional to me. I went with my brother Will and my cousin Adam and his then fiancée Marissa and my uncle Charles and his husband Bob. And Uncle Charles and Adam aren't with us anymore. That I'm not emotional, my voice just did that. Mm. I am
You can be emotional.
I am emotional, but my voice, I'm just
Alright.
congested.
Yeah,
Thank
he's got a
you.
tissue for you.
Thank you. No, I am very emotional about it, but that wasn't me being that's I'm just congested. Okay, so, then I went to Las Vegas. When was your Chicago show that wasn't with me?
It wasn't until
Okay,
July
um,
5th.
okay. So, yeah, I went to Las Vegas, then I went to in June of 2011. Wait, back that up for a second. So, if I'm sure everybody knows this, Bono hurt his back, and so all these shows that were planned for 2010 moved to 2011. And I look back every so often at my Facebook posts, and I'm like, "Oh my god, poor me. I don't deserve this. Poor me." Not poor me,
That's funny.
poor Bono.
Poor Bono.
Just, at the time, it was just like, "Me, me, me." I was really upset. I had plans and yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Anyway,
so my first show when they were back was June 22nd, Baltimore, and then my next show was East Lansing with Amanda and our friend Shelby, and then
and
we
then I went July 5th in Chicago.
okay, so there you go.
Mhm.
So
With,
then
I think, just one of our friends.
Okay, so then we went to East Rutherford. It was Jenny, my uncle Charles, and his husband Bob. And then the last show of the tour we did was Pittsburgh, and it was Jenny and Amanda and our friend Stephanie. So that's the list.
Right.
So part of what we're talking about today is that the band really didn't stand by the songs from this album on tour. I looked at other tours to see where they started off with other songs, and there were 7 No Line on the Horizon songs that were played on the first night in, the US. 7.
Right.
And
Right.
like, U2 for I&E, they played 6. So, like, they started off, you know, behind the songs.
I feel like they played at least 4 or 5 in Scott Stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah, in that
they
earlier
played,
in that time, yeah, they played a
5.
handful.
They played 5. So that the second show this is crazy. The second show in Chicago was the first show that I've seen where they didn't sing Pride. Every show I'd ever seen before, the
They didn't
second
sing
show
Pride.
they played Pride, and so the second Chicago show, they did not play
Wow.
Pride, and I did not miss it. I did not notice, I don't think. I didn't notice this until I was looking at the stuff today. Uh,
Yeah, wow, yeah.
Interesting.
actually, yeah. Okay, so
I'm just quickly looking through some of the other legs to see when they got rid of Breathe, and it was definitely after they came back in August of 2010 in Europe. So I was just looking so we talked about how they stopped kind of believing in the album, and I didn't audit this completely, but they opened with Breathe all the way until later '09 when Bono hurt his back. That was, like, October-ish or something, and then was it August of the next year, April or August, it was an A, I forget, of 2010, they came back and they started opening with Beautiful Day. And they did that for a while and trying some other things. And then after that, it became when they came back in the US for the final leg, all of a sudden it was an October Baby show opener. It was
yeah,
4 October Baby songs, right?
I think that's what they were, I think I mean, they kept it for the rest of the tour, but I think that that was, a Glastonbury thing.
Oh,
I think that that was their set. I'll get back to that in a minute, but I think that
okay.
that was their set.
And they liked it so much they kept it.
I think so. No, but they went to I think that because Glastonbury was between 2 shows that I saw. It was
Okay.
between Baltimore and East Lansing. Like, there were no shows in between that. It was Baltimore, Glastonbury, East Lansing. So I think that that
Oh,
was
that's tight,
I
yeah.
think that they were, like, practicing their Glastonbury 'cause it was they had to left, like, the minute the show was over and headed over there 'cause it wasn't a
Yeah,
long time
I'm looking at it.
and so, anyway, so an interesting thing with the Chicago shows is that Garden Tart Amanda and I caught some 360 plague, which
Mhm.
I was sick until February, March of the next year. Like, it was awful. I'd never been that sick in my life. Well, now I have, but before then, I'd never been that sick in my life,
Yeah.
and we were we were just going through whatever we got, we both had the same exact thing, the same medicine, the same crap going on.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, so also in the middle of a bunch of these shows was Amanda's wedding, and, like, I, like, went into this church and I'm like, "Whoever's listening, please let me not cough during her wedding, please."
I'm sure she was saying the same thing.
Amanda said the same thing.
Yeah.
"Whoever's listening, please let me not cough when I'm getting married."
Excuse me for my cough.
No, come on. Anyway, so that was an interesting thing, but, like, all the shows, um, from the 2nd Chicago show, the rest of that US, like, the 20 two thou I'm sorry, the 2009 shows, I was, like, dying. I was so sick. But I just you gotta do what you gotta do. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so my first show that wasn't Chicago, and I didn't go with friends, well, I did, but anyway, I went with these 2 guys, who are big U2 fans, and I don't know, I mean, they were way younger then than I am now, but to me, they were old.
They were old.
I think they're, like, 4 years older than me or something, but then I'm like, "Oh my god, those old guys." So, this is one of my favorite concert moments, even though one of the guys was an asshole. So one of them, when they started playing Unforgettable Fire, one of them, like, clutched his heart like Sanford and Son, and the other one, like, sat down and, like, weeped.
Oh,
My god, like, that's a great song, but
but but
it was a
okay.
huge reaction, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Okay, one of these guys is crying, and the other guy's clearly having a heart attack." Anyway, okay, so it was really weird because let me get the dates. I was crazy sick, and I had to go to work in the middle of all this, but September 29th was Landover, and October 1st was Charlottesville. So this was a lot. This tour was
Yeah.
a lot with all of this stuff. So with the Charlottesville show, Bono quoted the Declarations of Independence. Hold on. I'm sorry. I thought I had it in there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't ever memorize it anymore either. Hillary, I think I've asked you this. Did you notice in Charlottesville, he said Manassas? It was like, "Great to be here, Manassas," or,
I
whatever.
do remember. I didn't think about that.
But I noticed he said Manassas. I was like, "Hmm,
Yeah.
alright."
Yeah, so he said, "We the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union, blah blah." And my brother Will and I, so like Charlottesville is very like sacred to me. Anyway, my dad went to undergrad and law school there. My parents lived there when they were first married, and my whole childhood, like we would go on like family vacations to Charlottesville. Like it's just I love that town. Thomas Jefferson was the founder of the University of Virginia, so he's kind of awesome in our household. And Will and I, like, cheered like we'd seen a rock star. And I'm like, "It is a rock star." But that's what we were saying, like, "Oh my god, that" like, we just screamed, like, it was no one else did, we did. Um, and then so my Uncle Charles said this was a great I've used this a lot in different contexts, but he we were on the way there and he said, "Are there gonna be people there that are, like, within 20 years of my age?" And I'm like, "4." And he's like, "That's a good answer." And that show it was such a good show. It was, like, perfect show
It
too.
was awesome. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
So my next show was Las Vegas, which again, I was really sick, but when I got there, the dry air or something, like, I had a reprieve. I was fine. It was crazy because, the whole trip was crazy, but we got our numbers for the queue, and then we went to the bar in our hotel for, like, 11 hours. We ended up, like, getting back like, realizing what time it was at, like, 4 AM, and we had to be at the check-in at, like, 6 AM.
Oh my gosh.
We're like, "No, we're just gonna stand in the back." And so,
Yeah.
like anyway, we did stand in the back, but, like, when I like, later that night, when I, like, got undressed, I had the most horrible bruise ever on my leg, and I'm like I think I ran out with, like, my pants down or something, and I'm like, "You guys, what happened? Like, I have this bruise, how did I am I hemorrhaging or something? Like, this is awful." And they're like, "No, you fell over a guardrail." And I'm like,
What?
"In the middle of the desert with no streets around, there's a guardrail." And I
You found it
to
You found it.
pump it, and I found it.
and forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't know how this happened either, but we ran into, Amanda's friends, Chad and Allison,
Yeah.
and so my group was 3 of us, and we stuck together, and they joined our group, and we were we're like 1 deep from the rail, and the
Oh,
people let
wow.
us, like,
Yeah.
grab the rail every once in a while. So this is another funny thing about it. My friend John, he he was like, "Oh my god, look, that's Paris Hilton." And I'm like I pick up my phone and he yells, "Paris!" And she turns around and I got a picture. So it was like an accidental paparazzi. Um,
Nice.
yeah. Okay, the opening band was the Black Eyed Peas, which was not great, but okay. And then we met Bono before the show. He like, got out of the car, but it was between a chain link fence, and he still got out of the car. People were just, like, going like this, through the what do you do? So, I give him my ET, so I gave him my ticket. My friend Holly said that I talk like a baby. She was like, "What did you just do?" And I'm like, "I don't even remember," but apparently I was like, "Hi, Bono."
Me, me, me.
He wasn't, like, concentrating on everybody. So he
Yeah.
wasn't it was one of those things where it's like things just flying at him and he has
Yeah.
so, like, he signed my ticket and I was just like, "That was cool," but I never knew that I sounded like a baby. It was
Baby.
yeah, so that show also, they had the mask, the Aung San Suu Kyi mask.
Yeah.
That was funny. Not anymore, but that was funny then. at that show, Bono sang a little bit of Viva Las Vegas, but he sang it in this, like, deep Elvis voice, and he's singing and he's like, "Oh god, I can't believe I just did that." And you can find that video. It's, like,
I think you've sent it to me, I think.
it's
I've definitely
hysterical.
seen
He
it.
was just like, "I can't believe I did that." Like,
Yeah.
so that's it for my 2009 shows. The show after mine was the one at the Rose Bowl, and that's the one they recorded. There's a DVD of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so, in my FedEx show, Charlottesville, my Scott Stadium show, both of those didn't have Pride.
That's crazy.
No, and I guarantee you, I did not notice it at all. Las Vegas didn't have Pride. This is cool about Las Vegas, though. Bono snipped in, all these things that I've done because the Killers. But
Mhm.
I think we've asked this question before, but my question for Bono over Whiskey and Cake is, do you come up with this stuff in advance, or do you just like, it's stream of consciousness? Like, how does that happen? I always
Right.
think that it's stream of consciousness.
Right. Or was he like that night be like, oh, the killer's from here. I should snip them in somewhere."
Yeah.
Like, it's or does it just happen? Maybe it's a mix of both.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was they were all really good shows. Okay, so skip forward to June of 2011. So the Baltimore show was not originally in 2010. That was added for
Oh,
2011. So it wasn't,
okay.
you know, anyway, we didn't like get to cash in our tickets for it or anything, which I think that we did that for,
Yeah, yeah, our tickets were they transferred.
yeah.
Yeah, they had to have. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I had this many shows planned.
Plans. Like, you don't know in 2009 what's gonna be happening in 2011.
No, but I know if you 2 tell me, I know that's what I'm gonna be doing.
Yes. This is true.
So, okay, they came back, and that's when they started with Even Better Than the Real Thing opening.
Yeah.
They went from
Yeah.
6 or 7 songs from No Light on the Horizon to 3
We
in
Boots,
2011.
If I Don't Go Crazy Tonight, and Moment to Surrender.
Yep,
Yep.
yeah. Interesting stuff for this. One was that they played Zooropa, which
Oh, wow.
yeah, that was
I
Yeah.
remember you being like, "Jenny, just wait.
yeah, yeah,
Something's gonna
yeah,
happen."
Mm.
that was not expected. I
Mm-mm.
also had
And it was cool.
it was really cool. I also had that show was, like, the 2nd hottest show I've ever been to, but, like, I mean, we were in a parking lot queuing, like, we queued properly and everything,
Yeah.
and there was this, like, food services guy that, like, had, like, on a big thing of ice on his cart, and he, like, tipped it over. Like, he was supposed to be bringing it in somewhere, and he
Yeah.
thought it was diamonds.
Oh my
Everyone just
gosh.
pounced on that ice, like, because it was that hot, and, the asshole I was with got sun poisoning and whatever.
Good times. Good
Um,
times.
yeah, so the next show was East Lansing. I went to with, Amanda and Shelby, and Amanda okay, so Amanda this was Shelby's first U2 show, and Amanda was, like, really nervous, like, she was like, "Come on, guys,
Yeah.
like, don't embarrass me." And she was like, "I'm just worried that Shelby's gonna watch the show, and after the show, she's gonna be like, 'Meh.'" And, like, Shelby was, like, sobbing. She was so into that show. It
Yeah.
was like, "Oh," Amanda was like, "Oh, thank God."
I love
So,
that
um,
story.
this is really I don't have this much for other stuff, but so a few whatever, the other week, Amanda was in Newport News and we went to Circa where Kip works, and, I had this idea before that I'm gonna come up with a story. I'm sure I had a story for every single person at that table, and they humored me, and I went around the table and told a story about all of them. So
Yeah.
the story, which you would think that it would be what would you think it would be, Jenny?
For me?
No, like, what story
Wait,
she
I'm
thought I was gonna say "Amanda kinda smells," but the story I told was about this show because there was a g there was a guy behind her that that only had, like, a stub of an arm, and he kept hitting her with his stub. It wasn't on purpose or anything, but she was,
Yeah.
like, every time he did it, she was just like, "Oh my god." Anyway, that was the story I told everyone really liked it.
Yeah.
Here's another okay, so at the Baltimore show, this oh god, yeah, Bono snipped Jungleland into Moment of Surrender because Clarence Clemens died, like, 2 days before, 4 days before, something like that.
Yeah.
So the 2 tho those 2 shows, the opening act was Florence and the Machine, she was pretty good.
Oh, that would've been great.
Yeah. I had made up this story that her keyboard player and some like a backing guitar player guy, because like, at the show in Baltimore, this lady was looking at the guy on stage, like, like, kind of batting her eyes at him, and he was just, like, trying not to look at her, and I'm like, "Oh my god, they hooked up." And I
They
told
did.
the whole story about it, and I told Amanda, and when we got in, they were both, like, pissed off at each other, and I'm like, yep,
Yep.
I call that one."
Yep.
Um, it's just fun.
For sure. So then I had my July 5th show
Yeah.
in Chicago, which was relatively it was a pretty standard show. I was excited to get back into it. I had no idea if I knew what the set lists were happening.
We should
Oh,
mention, though, that in between those legs of shows, Jenny had a baby. So if the
I
shows
did.
had been in 2010, I assume that would have been a problem.
That would've been very different because, I guess at this point, July 2011, she was like 18 months. So now I had an 18-month-old and like a 3.5-year-old. So just being able to sit on a sidewalk by myself with no one else that I knew for many
Yeah.
hours was very pleasant.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So I was going to the show with another friend who lived in Chicago. She couldn't queue with me, so I, let the people around me know, and they were very kind and let her into the line later in the end. But one of the really cool things about the show was that during Bono dedicated Moment of Surrender, the closing song, to Greg Carroll because it was 25 years
Oh
to
my
the week
god.
that he had passed away. And he snipped at the end, he did a little tiny bit of One Tree Hill. And then all of a sudden they were like, kind of gathered. And Bono made a deal with us that they were going to play it, but if they fucked up, because they hadn't played it in 100 years, that no one would put it on the internet.
That's
That was the
adorable.
deal. Like, we're gonna do this, but if we mess up, it can't go on the internet.
That's adorable.
That was I never heard that song live before. That
Yeah,
was a huge moment. That was a really huge moment.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And then, I'm sure there are more shows in Chicago around then, but then my next show was with you in East Rutherford.
Yeah. So for that show, we had,
Was that the show we took the
mhm,
train in and we couldn't figure out how to take the train back without, like,
yeah,
dying?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, I hold on, I forgot to mention. Okay, so also in, starting with the in Baltimore for my shows at least, Bono did Miss Sarajevo, which was a really
Yes!
surprise. It was a very pleasant surprise, and
And he had been practicing.
yeah, and that, like, great. What else he had to do was get over back surgery. Come on. And anyway, but that was he sang it in his tenor voice, and, like,
Yeah, like
every time
real opera.
every time I hear it, I'm like, "Why can't you just sing like that all the time? Like, just
Yeah.
you've got it. Why can't you?" Anyway, whatever. So, that show at the Meadowlands, we went with my Uncle Charles and his husband, Bob. Yeah, and he, like, got hired a car for us to go out there, but not a car
That's
for us
yeah.
to get back. And the day before, Jenny and I had, done a trapeze class, and
Right, in
I
my sister's trapeze school, yeah.
yeah, I had, like, injured every ab muscle I had,
Yeah.
like, doing that, and we get to this show, and I'm, like, trying to run, and I couldn't move. Like,
You
I
were like, "Jenny, go!"
"Go, go!" Like, "Don't wait for me, go!" I was in agony. But that show was so, so hot. That is absolutely the hottest show, and I had a friend that was in the middle, and he said that, at one point, Bono's guitar tech or something came over to him, and he grabbed the guy and, like, leaned on him, which we didn't see from our side. We had red
Right.
which, I mean, it only helped us a little bit. And
I think it's funny Bono has a guitar tech.
I know, he did then, though, he had a
He did, yeah.
but that is funny, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we've always said that his guitar was like a necklace because he never
I also wanna say that Interpol opened for that show, and I have no memory of that.
Oh,
I have no memory of Interpol either. I,
wow.
like, stand by that. So this is another thing that, like, a lot of these shows are a little foggy in my head, and I think the reason is Bono wasn't very friendly during this tour. Like, he just stared out, he never looked down.
Yeah,
Never ever looked down at the crowd, and it was just like, I don't know, but there's something about the shows where you make eye contact or something that it just resonates totally differently, but,
yeah,
like, all through, Elevation, Vertigo, and 360, he was just like
yeah.
and then he started in for I
Unless we were getting in trouble during Elevation, but that's
yeah,
different.
well, that's another story altogether.
Yeah,
So, okay, one of the cool things is that, when this tour, Bono sang he snipped Promised Land into I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and that is absolutely my favorite,
and he and
of
Bruce
all time.
U2 and Bruce did that at an induction ceremony or
They did it at the induction ceremony, but then they did it at the whatever anniversary, 25 anniversary
okay.
or something.
Yeah, it's so cool to hear them do it
I
together,
love it. I love it. Like, that's just those songs feel like they were,
meant to be
meant
together,
to
yeah.
be together. Okay, East Rutherford. Yeah, so when we oh, a guy handed me a set list,
Yep,
and no one wanted to look at it, but I'm like, "I'm gonna look at it," and at the end, it was Bad and 40, and I'm like, like, I knew this, no one else knew it, and, then I didn't freaking play it.
not that night.
Not that night, we'll get to that. But so, okay, and when I was in East Lansing, Dallas, who is Edge's guitar tech,
Mhm.
he's very friendly, and I don't know how he seems to know me, but he seems to, and so I waved, and he threw a pick at me, and the lady next to me grabbed the pick, like, in front of my face, grabbed it, and I was so pissed. So at Meadowlands, Dallas comes by and throws me a pick again, like, he visibly saw this lady grab the pick
Yeah,
in front of my face. Why he didn't send me a hit me throw me another one, I don't know, but at the Meadowlands, he, threw me a pick, and it was so hot, it, like, stuck to me. It was so gross.
that is
I didn't
gross.
touch it, it just was, like it stuck to my skin because it was so disgusting. That was a fun but then we getting home from that show was the worst
It's
ordeal,
a nightmare.
a nightmare, like, everyone in the world was trying to get on the train at the same time, and my uncles, they live there, so they kinda know the ropes a little better than we do, so they
Right,
let us get on a different train and go in the wrong direction to swing around. Anyway,
that's right.
it was so awful getting home from that show.
So, that show, I'm looking at the set list, and they ended Moment of Surrender and then Out of Control.
And
Why did they play Out of Control at the end?
and and you know what? Now that I say that, maybe the list had Out of Control, Bad, and 40, because I do feel like there were 3 songs.
Because this was so U2 Tour says that this show had 2 more songs than most of the other shows didn't, and it's 2.5 hours long, which is they said probably the longest show of the whole tour. 2.5 hours is a long time for them.
Yeah,
But yeah, I wonder well, yeah, why Out of Control is in there? I mean, they used to start and end shows with that, so
yeah,
maybe they had a little something going on. Um, oh, I wanna go back to the because Kip was talking about the "I Gonna Go Crazy Tonight," the remix for that. And so when we first heard that in that first Chicago show, I thought so if you go back to Pop Mart, between the main set and the encore, that, like, drag queen belly dancer came up on the screen to a lemon mix. That was all cool. If there was, like, Perfecto mix or something. I thought it was one of those situations.
no, I know.
So I was like, "This is cool, wonder what we're transitioning to. I like this, whatever, whatever." And I swear it was 2 minutes
Yeah.
before I was like,
Oh, so another okay, when I was in East Lansing with Amanda and Shelby,
"Mhm."
they all of a sudden played Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, and I didn't was not expecting that, and I, like, choked. I went like, I couldn't breathe. So anyway,
I would've choked too if I
yeah,
wasn't
I was
seeing it.
that was
Yeah.
crazy. Um, okay, so then our last show,
Pittsburgh. Y'all, just there's some I don't know what is magical about Pittsburgh, but it's fucking magical. Every show is magic.
and
This was the last their next show was in Canada, but it was part of a festival.
but they added that late. This was supposed to be
Right.
the last
So
show.
this was supposed to be the last show, and it was kind of the last proper-ish
Yeah.
show. So yeah, Yumi Manda went with Steph, who she hasn't been on the pod. We've mentioned her a few
I
times,
know we have.
and she submitted some notes before, but she's a dear, dear, amazing friend, and she did the whole shebang with us, the GAing, everything.
She coined the term "shantytown" for the
Because
queue.
we were like under an overpass, intense.
So here's a weird thing that I have no memory of at all, but they played Scarlet,
Scarlet.
East Lansing. I have no memory of that at all.
And it wasn't even like a transition kind of thing.
Mm-mm.
It's just listed as a song.
Yeah. I have
That's weird.
yeah, I have just no memory of that. Oh,
I
at
think
Pittsburgh
like inside the ellipse, and I think we were with some dudes who were very emotional with us.
yeah, and
They were very
we were at the end of the show, I mean, it was the end of the tour for us. We were very emotional, like, very, very emotional. Also, they played the songs that they were supposed to play in at Meadowlands.
yeah. What happened was so Andy Rowan, who is uh the brother of Googie and Peter Rowan, who's on the cover of Boy in War. Andy Rowan is who Bad and Raised by Wolves and Navy Wire. I don't know. Those all those heroin songs, all
Oh,
those addiction,
Running a Standstill.
yeah, are about him. And he was at that show. And after they did Moment of Surrender, the band kind of it was they had like another little moment, kind of like they did in Chicago before when they decided to do something, and they decided to do Bad and 40. And there was all kinds of stuff snipped in. It was 9 minutes, 9 minutes of extra song that we got. And it was really cool they did that.
It's really, really
And then we learned later that Andy had actually been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and saw the handwritten lyrics for Bad. He posted that online or something,
wow.
which was really cool. Yeah.
I say this about Pittsburgh. If that had been my last show ever, I would have been satisfied. Like, that was the hill I die on. I have chills just thinking about it. But, there's a big but, I'm pretty sure that every single show I've been to since then was better.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Every show since that show, every show I've seen is better.
Yeah.
They just after this, they turned it up to 11. I mean, that
Yeah.
Before I leave, is there anything you need to ask me or you want me to chime in on? I think you said Bono with tea and or cake.
whiskey and cake. The origin of that story,
Whiskey and
though,
cake.
whiskey and cake,
Whiskey.
is that we were in Nashville, and after the show, we went to this little restaurant in our bar in our hotel, this little bar in our hotel, and we asked if they had anything sweet, and they're like, "We might have, like, a slice of pie," and we're like, "Whatever, just bring whatever," and they bring these 2 pieces of Goo Goo Cluster cake.
They were left over from a wedding or
I mean,
something.
it was the best cake ever, and we just, like, chowed down on that cake with whiskey. So that was the origin of whiskey and cake because that was just a good night.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I like it.
Can you think of anything you'd wanna ask?
Boy, just well, who would be the 3 people that Bono would wanna sit and have whiskey and cake with? You know, beyond that, I no, spur of the moment. I got nothing
Yeah.
beyond
Well,
that.
it better be us. Again.
Oh, Bono, would you like to have whiskey and cake with the Garden Tarts?
Thank you.
Yeah, there you
That's a
go.
great
Well,
question.
if
There
he
you go.
says yeah, we'll bring him by Circa.
Well, please do. Please do.
We will. We will.
Well, thank you for having me tonight, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being
Yes,
with us.
thank you for being with us.
I'm honored. I hope I did justice to
You
this whole endeavor
you did
tonight.
great,
So
and thank you for. This was a long time in the making. I think I
Yeah.
it
mentioned
was.
it
It
like
was.
5 years ago or something. Like,
Yes,
when
it
did we
was.
get there?
Yes, it was. Jenny, great seeing you.
You too, Cap.
Yeah, thank you, dear.
Yep.
I love you both, and
Love you.
I love what you're doing, and I'll come back anytime you want me. So
Thank you,
Sounds
Kip.
good.
I had a blast. Thank you all so
Thank you,
much.
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you
Okay.
soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Well, that was fun having Kip. He's a very dear friend of mine.
Yeah, it was so good. I haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah.
I love you've said this before to me, and you're right that it's like that was one of the best shows we'd ever seen in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and every show since has been better,
Yep.
which is just a testament to the band
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
for sure.
it's crazy that that's actually true because
Yeah, they just keep getting better
yeah, yeah.
despite them being in their geriatric phase.
The Crone era trademark.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's over with.
Yes, we are
On to songs of
officially
innocence and
done
fear. Yep.
with No Line on the Horizon 360.
Yeah.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
No, and, we welcome Songs of Innocence with open arms, and I wanna do it, like, tomorrow. I
Okay.
want like, I need to dive in, like, tomorrow.
I still haven't listened to it yet.
I have. I actually didn't listen to the whole thing.
I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous.
I know, but, like, I think it really is interesting that, like, my 2 favorite albums have been Joshua Tree and Octung Baby since they came out. And then like, Songs of Experience is a really close 3rd.
Yeah, it's a
And, like,
close second for
that's
me.
crazy
Yeah.
because, you think, well, my favorites are Joshua Tree and Octung Baby. How are they gonna top that? They didn't, but, I mean, the Songs of Experience is very settled in its spot
Yeah.
of 3.
Well, we'll have to we got 2 years.
I hope the next album, you know, is even better than any of that. Please.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not firm on if there's something better, I'll take it.
Oh yeah, we can rearrange
Yep.
the standings. Yeah. Absolutely.
Give me a new favorite song and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Songs of Experience almost has. But we'll get there. We
Yep.
got time.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Well, should we say adieu
Peace out.
for
Oh,
night?
so Kip has this thing, which we should mention. He has this crazy ability to do the Kip dip, as he calls it. That you can be at a party or something with him, and you're talking to him, and then all of a sudden he is gone. He's out the door.
The Irish goodbye.
It is an Irish goodbye, but he likes to call it the Kip dip.
I like the
He
Kip
is
dip.
also Irish, obviously, but, the Kip dip. And, like, I always feel like one time I didn't fall for it. Like, the last time there was a party at Circa, I'm like, "You're gonna leave now, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." But, like, the other times I fall for it. Um,
Right.
I tried this once, and I left a party, and my car got stuck in mud, so I had to go back in and ask people to come out and help me push my
And they
car.
were like, "You left?"
Yeah, and I told Kip, I'm like, "God," and he was like, "Yeah, you've gotta be careful with that, like, that's just not an easy." I'm like, I know now, I'm not doing
You
it."
should have just Kip dipped out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
my goodness.
great app,
Great
and
up.
we'll
And
see you next
see y'all
time
next
or
week.
whatever.
Yeah. Have a good night, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll be back next week with more U2-ish content.
In the meantime, keep chatting with us on social media at _Garden Tarts.
Sign up for our newsletter at thegardentarts.com and share with your YouTube friends.
You can support us on Patreon, buy me a coffee, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Hissing Lips and Breaking Hearts, a U2's podcast with the Garden Tarts, is created, produced, and edited by us, the Garden Tarts.
Intro and outro music by December.
See you next week.